Hello and welcome to another great episode of the Moving Abroad series. My name is Bernard and I'm coming to you from Benfriman Travels Consult. If you happen to bounce to this video for the first time, subscribe to the channel if and only moving abroad is one of your priorities. All right. Today we are discussing the DV lottery. In our previous video, it was too long. I didn't want to keep the video for too long. We were supposed to discuss the documents that you need to submit into details. Okay, so the birth certificate, prisons and courts, your military records, and all those kind of things. All right. So police certificate and all that, we didn't discuss it, so I'm going to cover that in this video. All right, so just go ahead, click the notification bell so that you'll be the first person to be updated each time we put videos on YouTube. All right, so thanks a lot for doing that. Thanks for joining the family. Without wasting much time, let's get into the video. All right, so looking at this document, it shows us all the information that needs to be on your birth certificate. Now, each applicant must submit a birth certificate issued by the official custodian of birth records in the country of birth, showing the date and place of birth and the parentage of the applicant based upon the original registration of birth. So let's look at some of the information that needs to be on your birth certificate. So this is an important notice. You must submit a long form original birth certificate, and any short form birth certificate will not be accepted. So let's look at how they mean by long birth certificate. Okay, so it also means the information that needs to be on your birth certificate. All right, so this must contain your dates and place of birth. Both parents' names should be on this document. Annotations by the appropriate authority indicating that it is an extract from the official record. So this means it should come from an official office in your home country. Whoever is in charge or whatever ministry is in charge of releasing or issuing birth certificate, this document should have their annotation. All right, so let's look at unobtainable birth certificate. If you cannot obtain your birth certificate, there are ways you can also prove your birth. Okay, so let's look at this. The applicant's birth was never officially recorded. Sorry about that. If you were not, recorded as someone born in the country, you fall under the unobtainable birth certificate. So let's continue to look at some of the categories on which you can fall under this category. So the applicant's birth records have been destroyed. If your birth records have been destroyed, you also fall under this category. Now, the appropriate government authority will not issue you one, okay, which means your country does not issue or your country does not want to issue you a birth certificate, which is almost impossible because as far as you're born in a country, you would definitely need to be issued a birth certificate. All right, so let's look at what you can do in these cases. All right, in these instances where you cannot get a birth certificate. So in these cases, please obtain a certified statement from the appropriate government authority stating the reason the applicant's birth record is not available. All right, with a certified statement that applicant must submit secondary evidence. Okay, so your government must issue a statement or in a form of a letter to explain why you are not qualified or you will not be issued a birth certificate. For example, if you are not issued a birth certificate, these are some of the examples you can use to replace that. Okay, a baptismal certificate that contains the date and place of birth, as well as both parents' name. Okay, so whether you have a birth certificate or not, if you do not have it, I should say, you can use your baptismal certificate from your religion, okay, the church or mosque or whatever religion that you belong to. You can use this document to replace the birth certificate. All right, so the documents are listed. You can go through. I don't want to spend so much time here. I don't want to keep this video very long. I know most of you have the birth certificate because this year there was a passport requirement, and most countries, without a birth certificate you will not be issued a passport, which I think most of you who entered the DV 2021 has passports, and automatically have your birth cert available. All right, so let's go on to the next document, which is the court and prisons record. Now, applicants who have been convicted of a crime must submit a certified copy of each court records and any prison records, regardless of the fact that he or she may be subsequently benefited from an amnesty, pardon, or other act of clemency. All right, so if you have been convicted before, you should notify in your documentation during the application, and also whether you've been pardoned or given an amnesty several times. It doesn't really matter. You need to still state that on your application document. Okay, so you need to include all these documents. All right, so it also goes on to say the deposition of the case, including sentences or other penalty or fine imposed. So whatever sentence you were given, if any penalty or fine, you should also include that. So this is as simple as that. Let's go to military records. All right, so persons who have served in the military forces of any country must submit a copy of their military record. So this will cover for those who are in the military or have served in the military before and applied for the lottery 2021. All right, so if you are not in the military, this does not really apply to you. So let's move on to the police certification. All right, so one of the documents you need is the police certificate or clearance. Okay, so which applicant needs to submit a police certificate. All right, so each applicant age 16 years or older must submit all required police certificates. So this is like automatically applies to all of DV lottery applicant, because one of the requirements before you even qualify to apply for the lottery is to be 18 years and above. So being 16 years and above to submit police certificates automatically affects each and every DV applicant to submit this document. So the applicant must submit a police certificate that meets the following guidelines. All right, the police certificate must cover the entire period of the applicant's residence in that area. All right, so whether you stay there for a number of years, it should cover all these years. All right, be issued by the appropriate police authority. So you cannot just go to any security company and let them issue you a police certificate. It should come from an appropriate authority. All right, so it should also include all arrests and the reason for the arrest and the deposition of each case of which there is a record. Okay, so should include all these factors in the certificate that they will issue you, right? So you can continue to look at how to obtain a police certificate. This varies because we come from different countries, but you can talk to the appropriate authorities as stated here, and you'll be guided with where you can get this police certificate. All right, so now let's look at a table here and what it means. Okay, so if you are 16 years and older, and you reside in a country for more than 6 months, you should attend to your local police authority to be issued this certificate. So it goes on to those of you who were, as at the time of arrest, you were not 16 years and old, 16 years old and above. Okay, so if you were not 16 years old and above, any country were arrested for any reason, regardless of how long they've stayed. All right, so you should also provide that if your crime was committed, whether or not you were 16 years older or not. So let's look at one note here. It is an important notice you need to consider. Now, if you present and give any former residents of the United States, and you are currently residing, or as I said earlier, you are a former resident of the United States, you do not need to provide this police records, because perhaps you've been they have your records already. That is what this statement really means. Okay, because you've stayed there for a while, you already have your records, so it is not of much use to obtain one at your current location. All right, so this is also important. Police certificate expires after 1 year unless the certificate was issued from your home country of previous residence, and you have not returned there since the police certificate was issued. So if at the time of your interview the following three items all are true, you must bring a new police certificate to your visa interview. That you are more than 16 years, I've said that the police certificate was obtained more than a year ago. So those of you who have obtained police certificates for various travel reasons, and it is more than a year, and you are asking whether you can use the same certificate, the answer is no. You need to obtain a new one. All right, so if you still live in the country that issued the certificate, all right, so these are some of the process you need to go through to obtain the police records and all other related. So let's look at the final document, which is the photocopy of valid passport biometric data page. All right, so you and each family member immigrating with you must submit a photocopy of the biometric data page of a country of a currently valid passport. All right, so the biometric page is the page with your photograph, name, date, and place of birth. So where you have your information in your passport, that is what they mean by biometric data. All right, so this is what you have to do with your passport. After being selected, you need to send a photocopy of your biometric data page to KCC. All right, what you need not to do is to bring your original passport or send your original passport to KCC. It might not be returned or get lost, so it is not advisable. Only photocopies of that page needs to be sent to KCC. All right. So if you are going for the interview, you need to go with your original passport plus one photocopy of the biometric data page to your visa interview at the US embassy or consulate. So you need to do at least 2 or 3 photocopies of your passport biometric data page, which you send one to KCC and also send one plus your original passport to the embassy or consulate for the visa interview. All right. So do not, I want to repeat this, do not send your original passport to KCC, and you might not want to have issues with that, so do not do that. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. We are going to continue with having or preparing for the interview, and that is one of the critical things you need to take into consideration. So subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, be updated if you applied for DV Lottery 2020-2021 and you plan of applying for DV Lottery in the future. All right, so, and not only DV Lottery, if you have plans of immigrating abroad in the future, whether you are from Africa, Asia, Europe, wherever you are, and you want to move abroad, this channel is right for you. All right, so stay safe, and let's expect our next video, and bye for now.